walk?
The Irish are clean on this one, then.
Duly noted. Such cliches, and the fact that your rate is getting nothing for our money. No,
Who the fuck do you think you are coming down
Who
here
I
talking
am?
about? Roll this mother.
Huh? Those people you took to McCall?
Really?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Instructions that I'm gonna kill you, understand?
Let's go.
No.
Copy.
Motherfucker sucking me.
what the fuck?
You fucking motherfucker.
Out of time.
Just let me go.
You go.
Hey, Andre.
Pushkin made the call. I'm just
Fuck, Andre, huh?
Can I see it?
Oh, you want to see?
Everybody settle now. They'll do anything you say, so if you tell them.
Fuck you, you motherfucker. You have fucking disrespect. You hear me? Like a fucking dead man!
Well, do something about it. Then do the right thing. Do the right thing, Frank.
Do it!
What?
He's
Do it! Get to the office.
It's done!
the world he left.
These people. I can't understand you. Sit down!
Service doors in the back, okay? Go.
Hey guys, today we're diving headfirst into the gritty, satisfying world of The Equalizer, the 2014 masterpiece starring Denzel Washington. Get ready for a masterclass in making bad guys deeply regret their life choices. We kick things off by meeting Robert McCall, a man so organized, his socks probably have their own Excel spreadsheet. Seriously, his apartment is pristine, his morning routine is practically a meditation, and he works at a home mart. Yes, a home mart. It's all very normal. You'd never guess this guy has a secret past that makes a spy novel look like a tax audit. Every night, like clockwork, he's at the same diner, sipping tea, reading classic literature. He's a regular, predictable guy, but there's a quiet intensity in his eyes. A stillness that hints at something simmering just beneath the surface. He's the kind of guy who notices everything but says nothing, which, let's be honest, is usually how the main character in an action movie starts before all hell breaks loose. If you like this sneak peek, hit the like button and subscribe. It's the best way to support the channel and let me know you want more. McCall's nightly ritual is punctuated by the presence of Alina, a young woman, perhaps even a teenager, whom he knows as Teri. She's a prostitute working for the Russian mob, and she also frequents the diner. Their interactions are brief but telling. She's trying to keep up a facade of normalcy, telling him about her aspirations to be a singer, dreaming of a life beyond the grim reality she's trapped in. He listens, truly listens, offering quiet, unassuming advice, like a sage in a booth. It's clear she sees something different in him, a steady, non-judgmental presence in a world that has otherwise been incredibly cruel. The clinking of silverware, the low hum of diner chatter, it all forms a backdrop to these deeply human moments. You can feel the weight of her unspoken struggles and the quiet compassion brewing in McCall. He's not overtly friendly, he's just present. And in her world, that's a superpower in itself. He even notices a bruise on her face, a subtle sign of the brutal life she endures. And the gears in his mind, those old, rusty, deadly gears, start to slowly, almost imperceptibly, turn. One night, the inevitable happens. Alina is found brutally beaten, landing her in a hospital bed. Her dreams of becoming a singer, of escaping this nightmare, are crushed, leaving her broken and despondent. The doctors confirm the severity of her injuries, a stark reminder of the violence inherent in her world. The once vibrant, albeit struggling young woman is now a shadow, the life drained from her eyes. McCall visits her, his usual calm replaced by a silent, simmering fury. He sits by her bedside, listening to the muffled hospital sounds, the beeps, the hushed conversations, and the story of how she was beaten for resisting her pimp. The injustice hangs heavy in the air. For someone who has spent years suppressing a violent past, this act of pure evil, aimed at someone so vulnerable, is a catalyst. You can almost hear the soft click as a hidden switch is flipped inside him. The quiet observer has seen enough. The rules he set for himself, the carefully constructed walls, are about to crumble. And let's just say, the Russian mob is about to have a very, very bad week. McCall, now a man on a mission, finds the men responsible for Alina's beating. He walks into their lavish, ridiculously gaudy private room, filled with smoke, booze, and general scumbaggery, like he's just popping in for a cup of sugar. He calmly offers to buy Alina's freedom for a substantial sum, enough to make any sane person consider it. But these guys, oh no! They're Russian mobsters, which apparently means they're immune to common sense and basic math. They scoff, mock, and belittle him, clearly underestimating the man in the sensible cardigan. Big mistake. Huge. McCall, without changing his expression, pulls out his stopwatch. He calculates the exact time it will take to neutralize all 5 of them. The metallic click of the timer starting is the only warning they get before he moves. And when he moves, it's not a fight. It's a terrifyingly efficient dismantling. The crack of bone, the wet thud of bodies hitting walls, the panicked shouts quickly choked off. He uses their own weapons, their surroundings, even a corkscrew. Yes, a corkscrew, with brutal precision. Each blow lands with bone-jarring impact, each movement economical and deadly. The scene is a whirlwind of visceral action, a symphony of pain and justice, all completed within the allotted time. The silence after is deafening, punctuated only by McCall's calm breathing. The Equalizer has officially entered the chat.news of the Russian mob's significant staff reduction. Doesn't exactly go unnoticed. Enter Teri Renson, played with chilling perfection by Martin Sokas. Teddy is not just some hired goon. He's the cleanup crew, the head enforcer, the guy you call when you want problems solved, usually with extreme prejudice. He arrives at the scene, immaculately dressed, looking like he stepped out of a fashion magazine, but with eyes that could freeze a volcano. He doesn't panic, he doesn't shout. He simply surveys the carnage, the blood, the shattered furniture, and pieces together exactly what happened with a chilling, almost forensic precision. The subtle scent of gunpowder and fear still hangs in the air, a ghost of McCall's swift justice. He notices the peculiar details, the precise nature of the kills, the lack of struggle for some victims, the methodical nature of the violence. This wasn't some random street brawl. This was professional, highly skilled work. He knows he's dealing with someone extraordinary, someone who wiped out 5 armed men without leaving a single trace of his identity. Teddy is a mirror to McCall, a dark reflection equally capable and utterly merciless. He's about to embark on a hunt, and you can practically hear the ominous bass drum of fate starting to beat. While Teddy is busy collecting clues and looking menacingly cool, McCall is back to his mundane home-mart life. But even here, he can't help but equalize in smaller ways. We see him patiently coaching Ralphie, a younger, slightly insecure co-worker, through his security guard exam. Ralphie is struggling, feeling overwhelmed, but McCall offers calm encouragement and practical advice, teaching him how to think rather than just memorize. The quiet rustle of pages, the low murmur of McCall's voice, the genuine appreciation in Ralphie's eyes. These moments showcase the fundamental goodness McCall possesses, the humanity he fights to protect. He even subtly helps the store manager by identifying a robbery in progress, saving the store a significant amount of money and hassle, all without breaking a sweat or even raising his voice. It's almost comical how easily he shifts from retired deadly operative to helpful Home Mart employee. It's a stark, almost jarring contrast to the brutal efficiency we just witnessed, reminding us that his violence is reserved only for those who truly deserve it. He's like a deadly, highly effective life coach. But instead of telling you to lean in, he tells you how to disarm a guy with a stapler. Meanwhile, Teddy's investigation is heating up faster than my instant coffee. He's not just a brute. He's intelligent, relentless, and has the patience of a very dangerous predator. He interrogates anyone even remotely connected to the diner, squeezing information out of them with a chilling blend of menace and charm. The low whispers, the subtle threats, the palpable fear in the eyes of his victims. It all paints a picture of a man who gets what he wants, no matter the cost. He finds a witness, a security guard, who saw the mysterious man at the diner. He also starts noticing the distinctive equal sign symbol McCall leaves behind, a subtle signature that links his acts of vigilantism. The pieces slowly start to align, The unusual fighting style, the quiet demeanor, the mysterious disappearance. It all points back to a single anonymous figure. Teddy realizes he's not dealing with a rival gang or a common criminal. He's facing a ghost, a legend, someone with an almost mythical ability to appear and disappear without a trace. The hunt is on, and the game is getting incredibly dangerous, with each click of Teddy's expensive Italian shoes bringing him closer to his prey. Back at Home Mart, McCall has another small problem to equalize. A co-worker, Jenny, is devastated because her grandmother's ring was stolen. The culprit? Frank Masters, the store's security guard, who's about as secure as a screen door on a submarine. Masters is a petty bully, throwing his minuscule authority around like he's running a crime syndicate. McCall, in his typical understated fashion, approaches Masters not with threats, but with a quiet, unnerving certainty. The scene is a masterclass in subtle psychological warfare. McCall doesn't lay a hand on Masters initially. He simply lays out the facts, the evidence, and the inevitable consequences. The tension is palpable, the air thick with Masters' rising panic as McCall dissects his pathetic little scheme. He makes it clear that Masters has two choices: return the ring and face minor consequences, or face a reckoning far worse than anything he can imagine. The subtle clinking of the retrieved ring, the relieved sigh from Jenny, and the defeated slump of Masters' shoulders all speak volumes. McCall's message is clear. Even small-time injustice won't go unnoticed. It's a good thing Home Mart has a generous employee discount, because Masters probably needs to buy some new undies after that encounter. Stumble, and then, bam! A tripwire is sprung, sending a cascade of heavy metal pipes crashing down, taking out one thug with a sickening crunch. The impact echoes through the cavernous store, a horrifying signal that this isn't going to be a fair fight. Then, another man steps on a pressure plate, and a shelf of sharp-edged tools swings out, embedding itself in his chest with a wet thud. The sounds are chilling. The panicked shouts, the desperate fumbling for flashlights, the metallic scrape of McCall moving unseen. He's everywhere and nowhere, a whisper in the shadows, an unseen force. The thugs are picked off one by one, not by brute force, but by ingenuity and the environment itself. It's like a murderous Rube Goldberg machine, designed by someone who really understands the destructive potential of everyday objects. You can almost hear the faint chuckle of McCall as he watches his meticulously planned traps spring into deadly action. He's not just equalizing. He's redecorating with extreme prejudice. As the remaining thugs realize they're in a death trap, McCall starts to engage them more directly, though still using the element of surprise and his environment to his advantage. This isn't a boxing match. It's a deadly shopping spree. We see him materialize from the shadows, a power drill whirring to life in his hand. The sudden high-pitched whine of the drill, followed by a grunt and a horrifying gurgle, paints a vivid, albeit disturbing, picture. He uses a nail gun with the precision of a marksman, the sharp thwack of nails hitting flesh echoing in the silence. It's inventive, it's brutal, and it's utterly terrifying. One poor soul gets a barbed wire-wrapped baseball bat to the face, the ugly crack of bone a grim soundtrack. McCall moves with a fluid, almost balletic grace, each movement perfectly calibrated for maximum damage. He's not just fighting, he's executing, systematically dismantling Teddy's forces. The sounds of struggle, the desperate cries for help, the sickening impacts. It all combines into a symphony of violence that only McCall could conduct. It's a stark reminder that in the right hands, a simple hardware store can become the most dangerous place on Earth. Next time I'm at Home Depot, I'm definitely giving the paint section a wider berth. just in case. Just when you think McCall can't get any more inventive, he decides to add water to the equation. He activates the sprinkler system, and suddenly, Home Mart is transformed into a deluge. The loud, hissing rush of water filling the air, the rhythmic drip, drip, drip from the ceiling, all create a disorienting, chaotic environment. The floor becomes treacherous, slippery, and the dim lighting makes visibility a nightmare. This isn't just for theatrics. It's a calculated move. The water obscures vision, muffles sounds, and makes the heavily armed thugs lose their footing, turning their advantage into a dangerous handicap. The desperate shouts of the remaining men echo through the water-filled aisles, their heavy boots splashing and sliding as they try to keep their balance. McCall, however, moves with sure-footed precision, a silent shark in a flooded warehouse. The water amplifies the sensory experience. The cold spray on the face, the feeling of slipping, the constant sound of rushing water. It's a beautiful, terrifying dance of death, all orchestrated by a man who probably knows the Home Mart plumbing schematic better than the architect who designed it. Honestly, if this guy ever decided to open an escape room, I'd be both terrified and incredibly impressed. With most of his men neutralized, Teddy finally finds himself face to face with McCall amidst the waterlogged aisles. The air crackles with unspoken history and deadly intent. Teddy, drenched and furious, tries to assert dominance, spewing threats and insults, trying to break McCall's composure. But McCall is a wall. He just is. His gaze is steady, unflinching, like he's looking through Teddy rather than at him. The low growl in Teddy's voice, the frantic splash of water as he lunges, and the calm, almost surgical precision of McCall's parries. It's a contrast of raw aggression versus controlled lethality. They trade blows, each strike carrying immense weight and purpose. The sound of their fists connecting is a dull, heavy thud, echoing in the cavernous, wet store. Teddy realizes he's up against not just a fighter, but a force of nature, a man who has clearly done this before, many times over. The psychological games are as intense as the physical ones. Teddy's desperation begins to show, a flicker of fear in his otherwise cold eyes as he understands the depth of his predicament. He's a hunter who has become the hunted, and the realization hits him like a sledgehammer. It's a true showdown between two formidable opponents. But only one has the moral high ground and, more importantly, the Home Mart home field advantage. The fight between McCall and Teddy escalates into a brutal, no-holds-barred struggle. This isn't a graceful martial arts display. It's a desperate, visceral battle where every punch, every kick, every improvised weapon is thrown with lethal intent. Teddy, despite his previous ruthlessness, is simply outmatched. McCall, battered but unbroken, uses a heavy, sharp tool, a bolt cutter, perhaps, or some other delightful piece of hardware, to deliver the final, agonizing blow. The metallic clang against bone, followed by a guttural scream, marks the end of Teddy Renson. The silence that descends afterward is heavy, broken only by McCall's ragged breathing and the dripping water. He stands over Teddy's lifeless body, a grim, almost weary satisfaction on his face. He's not celebrating. He's simply completing a task, upholding his personal code of justice. The fight leaves him bruised and tired, but the fire in his eyes hasn't dimmed. He cleans himself up, leaving no trace, and simply walks out of the shattered Home Mart, leaving behind a scene that would require a lifetime of therapy for any unwitting observer. It's a powerful, definitive ending to this particular chapter of his equalizing mission, proving that sometimes even the scariest bad guys are just victims waiting for a very specific type of tool. Probably a large hammer, if I had to guess. After his home mart remodeling project, McCall isn't content to simply dust off his hands. He's not one to leave a job half-finished, especially when it involves a whole lot of evil. He gathers information, sifting through the remnants of Teddy's operation, piecing together the larger puzzle. The subtle rustle of incriminating documents, the low hum of a computer as he cross-references names and locations, it all points to one man, Vladimir Pushkin. Turns out Teddy was just a very expensive, very disposable middle manager in a sprawling Russian crime empire. Pushkin is the puppet master, the man pulling the strings from behind a veil of immense wealth and power. McCall realizes that to truly equalize the situation, to ensure no more Alinas suffer, he has to go to the source. The weight of this new understanding settles over him, a grim determination hardening his gaze. This isn't just about revenge. It's about dismantling a system, taking down the entire rotten tree, not just a few poisonous branches. He's about to go from local vigilante to international problem solver. And let's be honest, trying to hide from Denzel Washington when he's on a mission is like trying to hide from a tsunami. You're just delaying the inevitable. No rest for the wicked, or in McCall's case, for the wickedly effective. His journey takes him far from the familiar aisles of Home Mart, across continents to the chilling, opulent streets of Moscow. The scene shifts dramatically from the gritty urban sprawl of Boston to the grand, imposing architecture of the Russian capital. The cold, crisp Moscow air, the foreign sounds of the city, the sheer scale of Pushkin's fortified mansion, it all underscores the magnitude of his mission. He meticulously scouts the target, observing guard rotations, identifying weaknesses, charting his ingress and egress points. The subtle click of his camera, the faint murmur of his thoughts as he processes information, painting a mental blueprint of the impenetrable fortress. It's a silent, tense preparation, showcasing his unparalleled skills as a strategist and infiltrator. This isn't a rush job. It's a precise operation, a calculated strike against the heart of a global criminal enterprise. He's a ghost in a foreign land, a whisper of impending doom for those who believe they are untouchable. And honestly, watching him plan is more intense than watching some people execute their plans. He probably already knows what Pushkin had for breakfast 3 weeks ago. The infiltration of Pushkin's mansion is a masterclass in silent, deadly efficiency. McCall moves like a shadow, a phantom weaving through the corridors, neutralizing guards with surgical precision. The muted thud of bodies, the swift, decisive movements, the absence of any wasted effort, it's terrifyingly effective. Pushkin, cloistered in his opulent office, surrounded by bodyguards who are more decorative than effective, slowly realizes the extent of his predicament as his men fall one by one. The frantic whispers over comms, then the sudden chilling silence. When McCall finally appears, bathed in the dim light of the mansion, Pushkin is a terrified, pathetic figure, stripped of his power and bravado. McCall's face is cold, unyielding. There's no anger, no theatricality, just the calm certainty of a man delivering a long overdue reckoning. The final confrontation is swift and definitive, a stark end to Pushkin's reign of terror. The metallic clang of a closing door, the final desperate gasp, and then silence. McCall ensures that Pushkin's entire network crumbles, leaving no room for resurgence. He's not just a vigilante, he's a cleanup crew for the entire global underworld. It's a brutal, satisfying conclusion that leaves no doubt about the Equalizer's commitment to justice. McCall returns to Boston, his quiet life, but not quite the same man he was. The transformation is complete. He's no longer running from his past. He's embracing his true calling. We see him in his apartment looking content, fulfilled. He opens his laptop and with a subtle, almost imperceptible smile, he posts an online advertisement. It's a simple, unassuming ad on Craigslist, offering his services not for money, but for justice, for those who have nowhere else to turn. It's a powerful moment, signifying his full acceptance of his role as the Equalizer. He is a beacon of hope for the voiceless, a quiet storm for the wicked. It reminds us that even in the darkest corners of the world, there are individuals who will stand up, who will fight for what is right, and who will not rest until balance is restored. His journey is a testament to the idea that one person, armed with determination and a fierce moral compass, can truly make a difference, making the world just a little bit fairer, one ruthless act of kindness at a time. It's a thrilling, thoughtful end to a fantastic ride, leaving us hopeful for what justice he might bring next.